morning. So, I didn't just get up. I just finally got the mail and it's been here a while. I had coffee and I'm just kind of waiting around to see how Joni's feeling, because we are going to go out of town today. And so, I'm just waiting around to make sure she feels up to it. And then we'll go do some grocery shopping. And for once, I'll take you guys with me. I don't do in-store shopping vlogging because most of the time it kind of makes me feel a little strange, because I feel like people are looking at me. And I know that's probably people are looking at me, but, you know, some of it is emphasized on stuff I'm sure people are not saying, but my head tells me. So I got a Food Network magazine in the mail today. Easy cooking recipes, and I'm all about that. And I'm looking to kind of get into different meals, and I was not comfortable eating like that. And more stuff that if I don't feel good during the week, the kids can just go in and grab. Because I've got containers and that go from freezer to microwave to fridge to whatever. And tonight I need to cook. It's a weird sound. I need to cook the fish for Anthony. And I think I might refreeze it. And my thought is, and it might be wrong, like, I'm gonna cook it, but I'm gonna, like, cook it to where it's almost done. So, and then I'm gonna put that fish into a bag, and then I'm gonna put those bags in the freezer so the fish doesn't go bad, but it's seasoned and it's cooked, and it'll be ready for him. So my thought process on just undercooking it slightly is, when he goes to have a hot lunch, you're not wanting to recook fish, because then it gets tough and gross. And so if I cook it a little under, he could reheat, like, say it's on a bed of couscous, he could reheat, and veggies, he could reheat that, and then, you know, put in the fish, and it's going to finish cooking, and he's not going to have tough fish. The only thing I wouldn't do would be, like, seafood, like shrimp and stuff, because that, I have heard, can give you food poisoning. That's why Connor's been begging me to make gumbo, and I think I might have to do that again. I was listening to my cats. They're throwing a fit right now because they think they're starving. There's a cup of food in the bowl, and no, they're not wanting to eat it. And then upstairs is a container, the mason jar one, and it's food. It's got food in it. It's full. They want it because there's more food in that one. Pooh laid down yesterday, and he laid down, so it's time to kind of back off their access to their food all day long. Water's one thing, food not so much. So poor cats and us are gonna start really watching what we're eating. And don't get me wrong, you know, years ago it was, oh, it's just easier to grab McDonald's, and, you know, people gripe about, you know, gaining weight, and then you look at, for some, I had a friend, she's like, oh my god, I'm gaining weight, and I was like, what do you eat? McDonald's? And she never cooked at home. I was like, okay, well, start cooking for yourself. You can make a chicken sandwich, you can make a chicken salad, because I've done it. we've taken chicken breasts. We barbecued. Oh, I think I barbecued like 40 slices of chicken breasts. I had chicken breasts and then I sliced those into 2 or 3 pieces. And then we flash froze them and then put the chicken breast into a bag. And so if you want a chicken sandwich, you pulled it out a little bit of one chunk of chicken, you reheated it, and then you put it on whatever you want, salad, bread, whatever. And that was our thing, is I'm like, oh my gosh, but the amount of money that is spent to eat out and the amount of calories, and let's talk about the salt in them, is ridiculous. So we don't eat out much, but I've noticed in the last few weeks, it's easier for us. Okay, it's easier for me not to have to cook, but it's not better. And that's where we are. Okay, that's where I am. No one else really cares, I don't think. They're getting fed. And don't get me wrong, God, it sounds bad. If I'm going to eat out, I'd rather have Jimmy John's, which is far more expensive than, going to get a McChicken. And I'd rather have Jimmy John's. And I'm weird. I would rather have a Jimmy John's, a piece of bread, and lettuce and tomato. And I will, when we buy them, I pull my meat out, I pull the cheese out. I do eventually eat it because I don't get enough protein, but I'll just sit there. Jalapenos, that's the other thing on it. Oh, I love jalapenos. And so, yeah, I want to do that. I want to, do a little more meal prep, because that is the one thing, and oh my gosh, it bit me in the butt the other day. I'm tired, I'm sick, I'm still trying to get over this cold, so I'm wore out, and then the staph infection on top of it, and it's not necessarily the staph infection, it's probably the medication, because it's such a high dose, which I still think dude, I'm taking the wrong medication, I think. No one said I was smart, I swear. Anyway. It's the right dosing. It's just different amount of days. Anyway, so the medication makes me really tired, and I have trouble cooking and standing there for long, especially after being up for so many hours and doing stuff here and there in the house. And so, yeah, I get tired, and I was like, I don't know what to make for dinner. And I was like, yeah, Anthony's right. We need to have, like, burritos or something. And I want to make breakfast burritos. I did that before. We ended up with, like, 75. And I want to get the stuff back out of the freezer because Joni and I both got sick. I want to make the tamales because I'll keep those in the freezer. What else? I just like having that stuff. Like, Anthony can just grab a breakfast burrito and go to work. We have the breakfast sandwich maker, which, as far as I know, he's used. Looks like it might be open. So he's used it more than once already. We have English muffins. I keep the sausage patties on hand. I actually carry all three. I carry the turkey ones because I prefer the turkey over the sausage, like pork sausage ones, and I keep the hot ones and the pork ones, obviously. But I don't know what it is. I mean, like, and I don't want to burn myself out, but I have been craving Brussels sprouts, and last night I wanted to make Brussels sprouts again. So we had them. We had them Christmas with the prime rib And then the other day, I did the grill or baked chicken thighs, boneless, skinless. White rice, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts. And there was a fight over the Brussels sprouts because I wanted more and Anthony wanted more. So, and then Connor was like, give me a couple. And then Xander had a couple. But Lex, oh, she got in trouble that day. So, I put one on her plate. I require you to eat one. That's all I want. Revisit it. She hasn't had it in a while. I did not force her to have any on Christmas. But everybody's taste buds... Ouch. I just pulled like one hair. Everybody's taste buds change. I hated broccoli. Would not eat it. Carrots. Cooked carrots specifically. Would not eat them. And now I can. What else? Oh, mushrooms. And when I got pregnant with Lex, I craved mushrooms. Like, I lived on white rice, sauteed mushrooms, and Walla Walla sweets. And in California, it wasn't that hard to get a hold of Walla Walla sweets. You know what? I want a bigger one. And Anthony must have used it this morning. And so I ate that quite a bit. That's probably why I went from 466 pounds down to 215 when I had her. So, but I was still, you know, oh, God, I ate a lot of clam chowder. And I hate clam chowder. I don't know where to put you guys. Hold on. Okay, I couldn't get ice and water. Well, I could have gotten the water part. It was really uncomfortable poo. But I couldn't seem to function and I couldn't sit you down. So I'm gonna have Eco Drink. And I asked Anthony last night, I was like, did you know we weren't supposed to have more than one? Really? Bakira, are you supposed to be on the table? Nope. I don't think he cares. Anyway, I don't even remember what I was saying. That's so sad. Nope, it's gone. Nope. I was literally going to cheat and put the memory card into the computer so I could remember, and I sat down and I was like, oh, we were talking about Lex and the Brussels sprout, and I was like, oh yeah, we were talking about, you know, the weight loss and that I had, and you know what ruined that? Depo. But no problem, you know, what is the term? Not whatever. Not the issue anymore. Anyway, so the other night I put one Brussels sprout. It wasn't very big. She looked at me in the eye, picked it off her plate and threw it away. And I was like, don't ask for another thing. You're in trouble. They know better. And like, Connor makes me laugh because I put one on him. Or, yeah, I just placed it on the top of his head. I placed one on his plate. And he wanted more. And then he ended up stealing a couple off of my plate. And we ended up getting the steamer bags. Because that's all, like, there was a lot, like, probably 80% of the vegetables. And I heard the guy talking to another customer. Just for some reason, they didn't ship them veggies. And so these were the only ones. And they're not very big bags, which suck. But I was like, ooh, pre-seasoned. I'm not sure on that one. That one's a bit far-fetched for me because I don't like a lot of spices. I am simple salt and pepper, and Anthony's like, these are salt and pepper. And I was like, okay. And so we grabbed like 4 or 5 bags because if I could get my way, that would be all I ate this week, and it would be a whole bag. But the pepper is a bit much. Now, if they just salted them, we'd be good. So, yeah. So, she ended up getting another one. Actually, she didn't get one. She was given one and told that she wasn't getting her phone back until she ate it, because that was really rude in the fact that even if I had let her not eat it, which would be rude to the boys because I made them do it, and she's not new to the game. This isn't something that we just started doing. We've done this since they were little. You know, every 3 months, every 6 months, revisit something. You know, you never know. You might like it later. And so, I said you could have given it to someone else. You didn't have to waste food. Yes, I know it's silly. It's one Brussels sprout. It's still the point. So, yeah. So she wasn't thrilled. She choked it down. She still doesn't like it. So, you know, she's free and clear for the next 3 months. It's kind of like her celery thing. She says she's never liked celery. Oh my god, this girl would mow down on peanut butter and celery sticks. She would dip it. I would catch her dipping it in the peanut butter jar. She liked it so much, but if you ask her now, she's never liked it. Kind of like bologna. There's some weird things that she has come up with that she says she didn't like the entire time, and we knew that. And I'm like, dude, you loved it. You used to eat it. And so I make this chicken salad, and it's like the easiest chicken salad. Grilled chicken breast, or I've cheated and boiled them with some chicken broth and shredded it, or put it in the food processor. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. I like the finer chunks, so I like the food processor. Anyway, so it's mayonnaise, mustard, celery, onions. I like cranberries in mine. That's it. And then I'll eat it on crackers. I'll eat it on bread. What is the one thing? There's a brown roll, and I can't remember. And there's another one I'm really trying to duplicate, and I'm wondering if it's a molasses one. But I know the roll, it was served in a restaurant in Modesto that my parents and I used to go to. And I can picture the strip mall. I think it was on McHenry, and I cannot for the life of me duplicate this roll, but I am madly in love with my oatmeal rolls. Ooh, my tummy. And so, yeah, I want to figure out what that roll was, or I'm thinking it had like molasses in it, but I don't know. So we'll see if I ever get the recipe right. Don't get me wrong, the ones with the molasses and oatmeal was really good, but it's really dense. Now, when I did the normal rolls and I just added oatmeal to the top of them, they were slightly sweeter, but they were really good. They were really fluffy. If I remember, I should insert a picture